I can tell you right now that I have the great pleasure to tell you that 17 Going Under, the album, is also our #1 album of the year.
Oh, what? Oh, wow. Oh, thank you very much. Hi, that's nuts.
Hi, I'm Andrew Trendle. You're watching NME, and we're here with Sam Fender.
Hello.
Merry Christmas, Sam.
Merry Christmas, mate. How are you doing?
I'm pretty good. How's yours going?
Yeah, good, huh? Good. Just as we said before, the final push to the end of the year before we get a bit break.
Still a few weeks of touring left, yeah?
Got a few bits and bobs left to do, yeah. A few little things, a few little shows, a few little like interviewee stuff, promo stuff. But yeah, almost there. And then I'm gonna, when I say take some time out, I mean I'm just gonna go sit in a studio. That's time out for us, you know. I find it really cathartic and peaceful, and it's a good place for us to chill, you know.
Just a Christmas sandwich at the mixing desk.
Honestly, I love it. Like I just like it's also as well. It's better for my health because if I don't do that and I just like go back to Shields, I'll just, you know, you just sit in the pub with your mates for weeks, and it's like by the end of it, you're just a big fat drunk mess. And so it's like, so I'm gonna do a little bit of that for Christmas, and then but then might bail out before New Year so I can get myself in the studio and just try and get myself focused on something, you know.
You're going to throw on a banging Christmas party for the band, though, yeah?
Oh yeah, of course.
Well, I saw you on Twitter earlier celebrating that your single 17 Going Under got to #4 in the NME Songs of the Year.
Yes, thank you very, very much.
I can tell you right now that I have the great pleasure to tell you that 17 Going Under, the album, is also our #1 album of the year.
Oh, what? Oh, wow. Oh, thank you very much.
Congratulations, Sam. How does it feel?
That's amazing. Oh, thank you so much, man. That's nuts. But I mean, it means the world to me because this album means the world to me and the boys. You know, it's a really we poured our hearts into it and worked our asses off for it. Like, wrote 60 songs for this record, so the 17 that you hear are of 60. so it's like, you know, took a lot of whittling down and a lot of work, but you know, I'm really, really happy with it. Oh, that's amazing, man. How was that? How did that come about? Was that done by fans or was that done by?
It's an NME Writers staff vote.
Oh, nice.
So
nice.
You put that on your CV, man. It's official.
Thank you very much. Thank you very, very much. Really appreciate that.
What do you think it is about this record that's kind of captured the hearts and minds of so many and kind of also captured the spirit of the year?
Well, I think it can be dour, and I think we've had a very dour time. It's been quite sad. It's like, you know, I think it's been a rough year for a lot of people. And although the album isn't about that, it's not about the pandemic or anything. It's about growing up, you know. And I did a bit of therapy or counselling or whatever you want to call it for 2 years. And in that 2 years, I started writing 17. I wrote 17 Going Under, the song, and then that was like kind of was the driving force for the rest of the songs that went on the album. And every single one kind of, most of it is just about, you know, my life or, you know, me or Shields or my upbringing or kind of just the way a lot of the things that I wrote about it in the album are stuff that like I couldn't probably have said at the time or couldn't have really put it into the words or articulated how I felt when I was actually 17 years old. But obviously when you do counselling, you go back and you do all that stuff, you know, they make you talk about your past and that, and it's a lot of stuff that I kind of never really opened up about, I guess, to myself, you know, and it just opened up this sort of Pandora's box of lyric ideas, you know.
That must be like another level of catharsis to know that like so many tens of thousands of people get that and connect with that.
It's been wonderful, you know. I mean, even that thing that happened on TikTok, like, I mean, I ended up on TikTok because the label were like, you need to go on TikTok. You know, like that's where like everything is. Even like even at 27, I was like, am I like, I feel like kind of old like, on that platform, you know. But then like I've kind of warmed to it because obviously I've warmed to it because it pretty much got whatever top 10 single. But that whole hashtagging all of the kids that were like using 17 as like a soundtrack for like a 15-second video of them talking about, you know, a trauma that they've overcome, or, you know, abuse situations. And I was so moved by these clips. Like, I was like, how is somebody like literally within 15 seconds like hit us in the heart and the stomach, you know? It was such a powerful thing to say. And there were so many of them. And even though that song for me is, you know, it's about, you know, me when I was 17 with my mother, and we were going through like a financial, like my mom couldn't, well, she wasn't fit to work. She was had fibromyalgia, and she was suffering with her mental health, and she was getting hounded and taken to court by the DWP, and she got taken to court 3 times to prove that she wasn't fit to work. And this is somebody who's worked as a nurse all of her life, you know, was never, you know, not a benefit cheat or whatever, you know, which they so like to, you know, portray with us. And I think it was a time that I couldn't like put into words, you know. I was so frustrated as a 17-year-old because I couldn't help her, but I was old enough to understand what was going on. And I think just loads of kids, especially with the pandemic and with everything that's going on in the country and the state of the country, there was a load of youngins and that on TikTok who are going through different things, but like there's loads of people that I think resonate with that now, you know. And it's, I mean, it's not got any better. that's the sad reality. But it's been an honor, really, like to see that, you know, to see how that's connected. I wasn't aware that it was going to connect to that level. I was just doing this album for my own form of catharsis, you know. You see 10,000 kids singing it back to you, you know, and it's like we did if you watch the Ali Pali video, like some of these kids down the front are like screaming it, and it's like, you know, it means something to them. It's like that's the most, like, it belongs to them now as far as I'm concerned, you know. It's their song more than it is mine.
Congratulations, mate. I mean, what do you do next? How do you top the album of the year? Make another album of the year?
I'll fucking try my best. I just said this before in another interview. I said, he said, do you not feel really confident now that that's happened? I says, absolutely fucking not. I was like, it's actually gone the other way now. I'm like, fuck, I've got to do that again. It's like one of them. So, you know, it's but no, I think I'll do whatever comes out, you know. You can't force that moment or that level of connection with a song. You can't force a good song either, you know. Like, songs, they either work or they don't, you know. They either come out the sky or they don't. Obviously you've got to keep at it, and you've got to fish for it. It's like, I think it was I heard Noel Gallagher say that once, and I think it was Neil Young that originally said it, but it was you know, it's like songwriting's like fishing. You've just got to keep turning up, and then eventually you'll catch something, you know. And I totally agree with that, you know. I think it's very much is that. So hopefully in 2 years' time I'll have another record that's, you know, hopefully listenable.
NME album of the year 2023.
Well, let's I'm going for it.
Is there anything you can tell us about the new songs in terms of like sound, or what's inspiring you lyrically, or what are you planning to do when you get into the studio over Christmas?
Well, I mean, we're still very much in the 17 going under phase. Like, album, we actually haven't really done any 17 going under tours yet. Like, all the tours that we've done this year were, you know, they were kind of finishing off the hypersonic ones that we never got to do before lockdown. So the first sort of all of next year, I see it as that 17 going under's year. We'll be touring for that album, but in the sidelines and in the small pockets of quiet moments, I'll be sat with my guitar in the studio figuring stuff out. I don't know. I never really know where I'm going with it, like, until I'm there. You kind of go in with an idea, and then it becomes something it becomes something completely different. You know, that's normally the case. It's rare that you go in and it becomes exactly what you imagined it to be. The only time that's ever happened actually was the Dying Light, the last track on 17 Going Under. I kind of knew exactly what I wanted for that song. I wanted it to sound a particular way, and I went in, and it was one of those weird moments where I hear it back now. It's exactly what I was hearing in my head when I was lying in bed thinking about it. You know, I think I've got songs. I'm writing songs now, and I've still got a shit ton left over from 17 as well, which some of them are well worth exploring. Like some that I didn't quite finish. And there's so many stories from that kind of place as well that I'm not really done. I'm not finished talking about yet. You know, I've got a lot of stuff from home, and I mean, I've lived in Shields for 27 years. I've never lived anywhere else. I'm gonna move away, I think, for a bit, you know, just because I think I need to, you know. I think I need to have a bit of time away, and I love home. I absolutely adore it, and I'll always have my place there, and I'll always come back and stuff. But you know, it's quite hard to sit in the pub when you've got to do like 30 selfies. It's like can't even chat to me mates, you know. I'm like sat there with a pint, like doing selfies. There's people are going like, 2 seconds, mate. It's like, you know what I mean? So I think I need a bit of just a little bit of like quiet time from that, you know, to kind of to think again, you know.
Where are you thinking of heading?
Well, I think I'm gonna do a little bit of time down here in London, just because I've got like Fontaine's DC and loads of me mates are down here, you know, like I'm pally with Carlos from Fontaine's, and I've got loads of mates like Declan McKenna and all that. Like I kind of would like to bounce off a few of my pals down here and kind of and just spend some time in the studios down here as well, you know. But then also the plan was to kind of we might go record the third record somewhere in the States, potentially New York, because the second album was actually gonna be, we're gonna go and do it in Electric Lady, but thank God we didn't, because if we wouldn't, I wouldn't have wrote the album that I wrote, you know. If it wasn't for, I mean, I'm not thanking the pandemic, but like, you know, if it wasn't for that time stuck in my house at home and stuck kind of dealing with, you know, doing therapy and that and talking about the past while walking through all the streets that reminded us of me past, you know, I wouldn't have probably wrote the album that's just got his top album in NME. So, so thank God we did that, you know. But I think I'm just gonna spend a bit of time all over the shop, have a little go. You know, we would tour all over the world, but you never really see any of it. You just see green rooms and stages, you know. I want to have a holiday. I want to go and see somewhere, you know. I just can't, you know, sit on my arse somewhere.
If you're in London, it's an easy taxi ride home from the NME Awards, of course. Well,
of course, exactly. It'll be a lot more easier than, because that's another thing. There's so much stuff that people ask me to do, and I'm like in Shields, and it's like, you know, I'm like, you know. So it would be good to kind of be here just to get some. It would make work easier, you know. But I'm not saying forever. This isn't like I've still got I've got my home in Shields, which I've set up, you know, and I will be. It's a back and forth sort of thing, but I think I'll just be probably straddling between the two.
Are you excited for the NME Awards? You ready for the hangover?
I didn't have a hangover last time I did it. Last time I went, I was a good boy. I went and I think I had like one beer. I might not be getting mortal. Like if I've got gigs in a couple of days, I'll probably be a good boy. Probably be there on the old. Who am I kidding? I don't know. I'm not going to say anything. I'll put pressure on myself because if I say I'm going to like not drink and then I turn up and get rat-arsed, then I'm going to look like a right fool. So we'll see.
Sam, congratulations once again, mate.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you so much for your time.
Take care.
See you next year.
Yeah, likewise. See you.